Ladies and gentlemen, listen up, I'm going to win. I want you to think about what that really means, because to declare it out loud, to shout it into the universe, it's not just a statement, it's a decision, it's a commitment, it's an absolute refusal to settle for anything less than victory. We live in a world where so many people let fear paralyze them. They let doubt talk them out of their dreams before they even begin. But not you. No, not today. Today you draw the line. You make a promise to yourself that from this moment forward you are going to win. No excuses, no turning back. Why? Because it's a choice to flip the switch in your mind and say, no matter what comes my way, no matter how many times I get knocked down, I will get back up. It's about locking onto your vision so hard that no storm, no step back, no rejection can shake you off your path. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is that voice that whispers you're not enough or you're going to fail, but let me tell you something, it's not fear. That's the enemy, it's inaction. Because fear can't survive in the face of action. You can't think your way out of doubt, you have to act your way through it. Get up, get moving, push yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. Let me be real with you, there will be pain. There will be days where it feels like the whole world is against you, like you've got nothing left in the tank. But that's where the magic happens, right there in the fire. Because the pain is not there to break you, it's there to build you, to sharpen you, to make you a warrior. Embrace it. Welcome it, because every time you push through it, you come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than before. And let's talk about being relentless. If you want to win, truly win, you can't just want it when it's convenient. You can't just want it when the sun is shining and everything is easy. You have to want it like you need air to breathe. The winners are relentless. They don't stop when they're tired, they stop when they're done. When everyone else is thrown in the towel, that's when you dig deeper, find that extra gear, and keep going. Finally, you've got to focus. Tune out the noise, the critics, the people who say it can't be done. Keep your eyes locked on the prize, not on the roadblocks. Because where focus goes, energy flows. When you keep your vision at the forefront of your mind, nothing can pull you off course. So let me say it again, louder this time, I am going to win. Not because it's easy, not because it's guaranteed, but because I've made the decision and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And guess what? If you make that same decision right now, there's nothing that can stop you either. So go out there and make it happen. Decide, commit, take action. And when life tries to push you down, you look it in the face and shout, I am going to win. Winning starts long before you reach the finish line. It starts right here in your mind. You have to commit deeply, fiercely to the belief that you are going to win. And I'm not talking about hoping, wishing, or dreaming. I'm talking about a rock-solid decision, an unshakable resolve that no matter what life throws at you, you are going to come out on top. It's easy to think that winners are born different, that they've got something special the rest of us don't. But the truth is, the most successful people weren't handed their victories. They decided they were going to win. And they committed to that decision with every fiber of their being. They weren't born with an unbreakable mindset. They forged it through countless battles, through the relentless pursuit of their goals. And that's the thing, a winning mindset doesn't come from some external force. It's a choice you make over and over, every single day. Now let's get real. The moment you decide to commit to winning, life will test you. The universe is going to say, oh, you think you're going to win? Prove it. You're going to face obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments that will shake you to your core. But here's the secret that's exactly where a winning mindset is built. It's in those moments when things are falling apart, when nothing seems to be working, when you feel like giving up, that's where champions are born. Because when you commit to winning, it's not about just hoping for the best. It's about standing tall in the face of adversity, refusing to back down, refusing to accept anything less than what you've set out to achieve. Think about it, when you truly commit to a winning mindset, you close the door on doubt, you burn the boats, you don't give yourself an escape route. Because as long as there's an exit plan, as long as you're thinking, well, maybe I'll try, but if it doesn't work, I've got a backup, then you're not really committed. You're just dipping your toes in the water. But when you truly decide to win, you throw yourself into the deep end. You say, I'm going all in, and I'm not coming back until I've achieved what I set out to do. A committed mindset means embracing a new identity. It's no longer about trying or hoping. Those words have no power here. When you decide you're going to win, you're no longer just a participant in the game. You become the game changer. You become the person who steps up, who leads, who takes control. It's not about what anyone else thinks. It's not about what's possible or impossible according to others. It's about what you decide you are going to make happen. Understand this commitment doesn't waver based on your emotions. It doesn't fluctuate based on how you feel in the moment. A winning mindset is not about being pumped up all the time. It's about pushing through even when you don't feel like it. Because feelings come and go, but commitment is something you carry deep in your soul. It's the voice that says, I'm tired, I'm sore, I'm frustrated, but I'm going to keep going because I made a promise to myself. That's the level of intensity we're talking about here. Committing to a winning mindset also means taking ownership of your life. No excuses, no blaming circumstances, no pointing fingers. You own your results, period. Winners don't waste time making excuses or feeling sorry for themselves. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to prove how badly they want it. They don't get bogged down by what's fair, unfair, unfair. Instead, they focus on what they can control, their attitude, their effort, their persistence. When you commit to winning, you train yourself to see every setback as a stepping stone. You shift your mindset from why is this happening to me to how can I use this to get stronger, to get better. Because let's face it, the path to victory is rarely a straight line. It's filled with twists, turns, and roadblocks. But with a winning mindset, you understand that every obstacle is just another chance to prove how unstoppable you are. It's just another opportunity to outlast, outwork, and outsmart everything that's trying to stand in your way. So decide right now that you're going to win. Not because someone else believes in you, not because the conditions are perfect, but because you believe in you, because you're willing to put in the work, to fight through the struggle, to keep going long after everyone else has given up. That's what it takes. That's the level of commitment that separates winners from everyone else. You've got to commit to it so fully, so completely that it becomes part of who you are. It's no longer something you do, it's who you are. And once you make that commitment, once you burn those boats and cut off all other options, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Fear, it's the silent thief that steals dreams, the voice in your head that tells you to play it safe, to hold back, to stay in your comfort zone where it's warm and familiar. But the truth is, fear only has the power you give it. It can only control you if you let it. And the most powerful antidote to fear, it's not overthinking, it's not waiting for the perfect moment, it's action. When fear creeps in, when those doubts start swirling around in your mind, your instincts might tell you to stop, to pause, to wait until you feel more confident. But let me tell you something, confidence is not a requirement to take action, it's a result of taking action. If you wait until you feel perfectly ready, you'll be waiting your entire life, because fear will never fully disappear. It will always be there, lurking in the shadows, trying to convince you that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes. But when you move, when you take that first step, fear loses its grip. I think about it, the longer you stand still, the bigger the fear grows. It's like a shadow that stretches out and becomes monstrous when you stay rooted in one place. But the moment you start moving toward it, that shadow begins to shrink. The illusion starts to break down, and you realize that fear is nothing more than a trick of the mind. It's not real. It's a projection of what might happen, not what is happening right now. And the way you shatter that illusion is by taking action, by stepping into it instead of running away from it. Action creates momentum, and momentum is the kryptonite of fear. When you take that first step, however small it might be, you send a message to yourself that says, I am in control, and once you start moving, you gain clarity. You might not have all the answers when you begin, but answers don't come to those who sit on the sidelines. They come to those who are willing to get in the arena, to get their hands dirty, to learn through doing. Let's be honest, taking action doesn't mean the fear magically goes away. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel uncomfortable, anxious, or uncertain. But it does mean that you refuse to let those feelings dictate your choices. Every time you act in spite of your fear, you're training your mind to become stronger. You're teaching yourself that fear is just a signal, not a stop sign. It's a green light that tells you this is where the growth happens. This is where you need to go. When you start acting, you also break the cycle of paralysis by analysis. How many times have you gotten stuck in your head, overthinking every possible outcome, trying to plan for every contingency? That's fear disguised as preparation. It's fear's way of keeping you stuck. But no matter how much you think, you can't think your way to courage. Courage comes from stepping forward into the unknown, from trusting yourself enough to take that leap even when you can't see the whole staircase. The magic of action is that it changes your emotional state instantly. You can go from feeling stuck, anxious, and overwhelmed to feeling empowered, focused, and clear in a matter of moments, all by taking one decisive step. When you act, your physiology changes, your brain chemistry changes. You're no longer a prisoner to your thoughts. You become the master of your destiny. You take back control. And here's the thing, you don't need to take huge, earth-shattering steps. You don't need to leap off a cliff to prove to yourself that you're brave. It starts with small, consistent actions. It starts with showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making the call, sending the email, signing up for the class, showing up at the gym, having that difficult conversation. Those small actions taken consistently will build a fortress of confidence within you. And soon, the things that once terrified you will become second nature. Remember, fear thrives in isolation. It loves when you stay silent, when you keep your dreams hidden, when you convince yourself that you're the only one feeling this way. But the moment you start taking action, fear loses its power. Because when you act, you're not just defying fear, you're transforming it into fuel. You're using that nervous energy as a driving force to propel you forward, to make you sharper, more focused, more alive. Every time you take action, you're building a new identity for yourself. You're no longer the person who shrinks back when things get tough. You become the person who faces the storm head on, who charges toward what scares you, knowing that on the other side of that fear is the person you're destined to become. Action isn't just about doing more, it's about becoming more. It's about deciding that fear doesn't get to make your choices for you anymore. It's about saying, I'm the one who's in control here, and no matter how afraid I might feel, I'm going to move forward anyway. Because here's the truth, fear will always be there, but so will your ability to act. And when you choose action, you choose power. You choose progress. You choose to live your life on your terms. So the next time fear tries to hold you back, remember this, you have a choice. You can either let fear be your jailer, or you can make it your fuel. The power is in your hands. Take that step. Make that move. Do the thing you've been putting off, because when you choose to act in the face of fear, that's when you become truly unstoppable. Pain, it's the one thing most of us spend our lives trying to avoid. We're conditioned to seek comfort, to crave ease, to reach for the quick fix that promises to make everything feel good again. But the truth is, real growth, real transformation doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pain. It comes from embracing the discomfort, leaning into this discomfort, leaning into the struggle, and recognizing that the moments that challenge you the most are the very moments that are shaping you into the person you're meant to be. I think about it, everything great, everything worth achieving requires you to step into the fire. It's the crucible that burns away your limitations, that melts down your old beliefs, your old habits, your old fears, so you can emerge on the other side stronger, tougher, and more resilient. But here's the thing, it's not just about enduring the pain. It's about embracing it, understanding that it's not there to break you, but to build you. Most people run from pain. They see it as a sign that something's wrong, that they're on the wrong path. But if you want to achieve greatness, if you want to unlock the potential that's buried deep inside of you, you have to reframe your relationship with pain. Pain is not a barrier, it's a gateway. It's the universe's way of asking, how bad do you really want it? Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to endure the struggle, the sacrifice, the discomfort to reach the level you're aiming for? The reality is there's no shortcut to the top. There's no way to avoid the struggle if you're serious about achieving your goals, whether it's in your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal development. Pain is the price of admission for a life of meaning and purpose. But here's the thing, most people miss. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your ally. It's the force that forces you to dig deeper, to find strength you never knew you had, to push past limits you thought were unbreakable. When you feel that pain, whether it's the physical burn in your muscles, the sting of failure, or the heartbreak of loss, it's easy to think that it's a sign to stop. But that's where most people get it wrong. Because the moment you feel pain, that's the exact moment you need to keep going. That's the edge where growth happens. That's where you separate yourself from the crowd, where you prove to yourself that you're willing to do what others won't. Pain is like a chisel sculpting away all the excess, all the excuses, all the weakness until what's left is your most powerful, most authentic self. But for that to happen, you have to be willing to stay in the fire long enough for it to do its work. Too often, people quit just when the pain is starting to transform them. They back down when things get tough, not realizing that they were on the brink of a breakthrough. The discomfort you feel when you're pushing yourself, when you're facing rejection, when you're confronting your deepest fears, that's the price of admission for the life you want. The secret is not just enduring the pain, but embracing it. When you can get to the point where you welcome the struggle, where you say, bring it on, that's when you become unstoppable. It's about understanding that every ounce of pain you endure is an investment in your future self. Every time you push through the discomfort, you're building a reserve of strength, of resilience that no one can take away from you. And that's the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who simply dream about achieving them, the willingness to embrace the pain and see it for what it truly is, the fuel for your growth. You see, the pain is temporary, the struggle, the exhaustion, the frustration, it doesn't last. But the strength, the lessons, the growth you gain from facing it head on, those are yours forever. That's the kind of strength that can't be bought, can't be faked, can't be taken away. It's earned one painful step at a time through sweat, tears, and sometimes even blood. But on the other side of that pain is a version of you that you can't even imagine right now, a version of you that's stronger, wiser, more confident, more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. When you choose to embrace the pain, you also choose to embrace growth. You choose to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. You understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback, that every failure is just feedback, that every disappointment is a lesson in disguise. Because here's the truth, comfort never changed anyone. Comfort never pushed anyone to reach their full potential. It's in the struggle and the discomfort, in the pain, where you find out who you really are and what you're truly made of. So the next time you're in the middle of a challenge, when everything in you is screaming to quit, to turn back, to find an easier way, pause, take a deep breath, and remember that this pain, this struggle, is a sign that you're on the right path. It's proof that you're growing, that you're stretching beyond what you thought was possible. Embrace it, use it, let it drive you forward. Because at the end of the day, when the pain has faded, when the wounds have healed, you'll be left with something far more valuable than comfort. You'll be left with the strength, the wisdom, and the unshakable belief that no matter what comes your way, you have what it takes to overcome it. And that, my friend, is the real victory. Relentless determination, it's the force that separates those who talk about their dreams from those who go out and achieve them. It's more than just desire, it's more than talent or luck. It's the inner fire that refuses to be extinguished, the unbreakable will to keep moving forward, no matter how hard the path becomes. It's the decision to show up day in and day out, even when the odds are stacked against you, even when the world says it's impossible. Let's get real. Anyone can be enthusiastic at the beginning. Anyone can get fired up, set goals, make plans, and get started. But it's not how you start that matters, it's how you finish. And the only thing that will carry you through the end is relentless determination. Because here's the reality: life is going to throw obstacles in your way. There will be times when everything feels like it's falling apart, when nothing is going according to plan. This is where most people quit. This is where they start looking for the exit. But the ones who win, the ones who reach the summit, are the ones who dig deeper when the struggle intensifies. Relentless determination means you don't wait for motivation to show up, you create it through action. You don't rely on feeling inspired every day, because feelings are fleeting and unreliable. There will be days when you're tired, when you're drained, when everything inside you is screaming to take a break, to just give in. But that's exactly when you need to push harder, because that's when it counts. That's when you're building the mental toughness that will see you through not just this challenge, but every challenge that's waiting for you down the line. This level of determination is about more than just hard work. It's about a mindset, a commitment to yourself that says, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many times I fall. I will not stop until I achieve what I set out to do. It's about finding that deep, burning why that drives you, that pulls you through the darkest moments. When your why is strong enough, there's nothing that can stop you. Because it's not about whether you feel like it or not, it's about who you want to become, the legacy you want to leave behind, the impact you want to make. Think about the greatest achievers in history: athletes, entrepreneurs, visionaries. What set them apart wasn't that they were the smartest or the most talented. It was their relentless determination to keep going, to keep pushing long after everyone else had given up. When they faced rejection, they didn't take it personally, they took it as fuel. When they hit a wall, they didn't turn around and go home. They found a way to climb over, dig under, or break through it. This kind of determination is about resilience. It's about bouncing back when life knocks you down. It's about refusing to let setbacks define you. Because here's the truth: setbacks are inevitable. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. But those who are truly determined understand that failure is not the end, it's just a step on the journey. It's feedback. A lesson, an opportunity to adjust your approach and come back stronger. When you're relentlessly determined, failure doesn't discourage you, it drives you. It lights a fire inside of you that says, I will rise again. Relentless determination also means being willing to do whatever it takes. It's about going the extra mile, putting in the extra hours, making the sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. It's about being obsessed, being so focused on your vision that nothing can distract you, that no amount of criticism, rejection, or negativity can pull you off course. Because when you have that level of focus, that level of intensity, you become unstoppable. It's not just about wanting it, it's about wanting it so badly that you're willing to pay any price, overcome any obstacle, endure any hardship to get there. But let's be clear, determination doesn't mean you're invincible. You're going to have moments when you feel weak, when doubt creeps in, when you question whether it's all worth it. And that's okay. That's part of being human. The difference is that when you're relentlessly determined, you don't let those moments define you. You acknowledge them, you feel them, and then you get back up and keep moving. Because quitting is not an option. It's not in your vocabulary. You've burned the boats, you've locked all the doors, and there's only one way forward. Relentless determination means embracing the grind. It means falling in love with the process, not just the outcome. It's easy to get excited about the big wins, the celebrations, the finish line. But the true champions are the ones who find joy in the struggle, who understand that the journey is where the magic happens. It's in the early mornings, the late nights, the countless hours when no one is watching, when no one is applauding. That's where greatness is born. Every step you take, every drop of sweat, every moment of sacrifice is an investment in your dream. And the more determined you are, the more you realize that the only thing standing between you and what you want is your willingness to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's about having that dogged persistence, that inner resolve that says, I am going to keep going until I make it happen. I am going to keep fighting until I win. So when the world tries to wear you down, when people tell you to give up, when life throws every obstacle it can find in your path, you stand your ground, you dig deep, you tap into that relentless determination, that fire inside of you that refuses to be extinguished. Because that's the essence of winning. That's the heart of becoming unstoppable. It's not about what happens to you, it's about what you decide to do about it. It's about refusing to quit, refusing to settle, refusing to stop until you reach the finish line. That's what relentless determination is all about. It's not just a mindset, it's a way of life. It's the decision to keep showing up, to keep fighting, to keep believing, even when it feels like the whole world is against you. Because when you have that kind of determination, nothing can stand in your way. When you set your sights on a vision, something you're truly passionate about, the path ahead may seem exhilarating. You see that destination so clearly, it's vivid, it's compelling, it's the kind of dream that sets your soul on fire. But the moment you take that first step, life starts testing you. Challenges, obstacles, and distractions suddenly appear like roadblocks, trying to pull you away from what you set out to achieve. It's like the universe asking, how bad do you really want it? And the key to getting there, the thing that separates those who reach their dreams from those who give up, is simple. You must keep your focus on your vision, not the obstacles. See, most people get so caught up in the hurdles that they lose sight of where they're trying to go. They start to fixate on everything that's going wrong, on the setbacks, the rejections, the criticisms. They let the fear of failure, the weight of other people's opinions, a discomfort of the journey cloud their vision. But when you do that, you're giving your power away. You're letting your circumstances dictate your focus. And the moment you start staring at the obstacles instead of your vision, you've already lost half the battle. Focusing on your vision doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending the obstacles don't exist. It means acknowledging them without letting them consume you. It's about training your mind to stay locked in on what you want, no matter how rough the road gets. Because whatever you focus on, you give energy to. And when you put all your energy into the problems, the doubts, and the fears, you magnify them. They start to look bigger, scarier, and more impossible to overcome. But when you focus on your vision, you start to see opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems, growth instead of setbacks. The secret is to keep your eyes on that horizon no matter how many storms are raging around you, because here's the truth, obstacles are temporary, but your vision is forever. Every successful person you admire, every game changer, every leader who has done something remarkable didn't get there because they never faced challenges. They got there because they learned how to focus on where they were going, not on what was trying to stop them. They had this unshakable clarity, this tunnel vision that kept them moving forward, even when it seemed like everything was against them. Think of your vision like a lighthouse. It's your guiding star, your anchor, the thing that keeps you grounded when the seas get rough. When you keep your focus on that light, it doesn't matter how choppy the waters are, how strong the winds blow, or how dark the night gets. You know where you're headed. The waves might toss you around, the storms might try to throw you off course, but you keep adjusting your sails and steering toward that light. That's the kind of focus that turns dreams into reality. Let's be honest, there will be days when you feel overwhelmed, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, when doubt whispers in your ear telling you it's easier to just turn back. It's in those moments that focusing on your vision becomes most critical. Because it's not about how you feel in the moment, it's about where you want to end up. Feelings are fickle, they change like the weather, but your vision, that's your North Star. It doesn't waver, it doesn't change. And it's your job to keep your eyes locked on it no matter how chaotic things get around you. When you focus on your vision, you tap into a different kind of energy, a deeper level of motivation that's not just about achieving a goal, but about becoming the person who is capable of achieving it. You start to see obstacles not as things that are in your way, but as things that are refining you, strengthening you, sharpening your skills. Every challenge, every setback, every delay is simply a test to see how committed you are to your vision. And the more you push through, the more resilient you become. The biggest breakthroughs often come when you're on the brink of giving up, when the obstacles seem too overwhelming to handle. That's because right before a breakthrough, life tends to throw its biggest challenges at you. It's like a final test to see if you really mean it when you say, I want this, and if you keep your focus on your vision, you'll find that those obstacles start to shrink. They become speed bumps instead of mountains. You start to see them as part of the process, as the training ground that's preparing you for what you're about to achieve. When you stay focused on your vision, you become immune to distractions. You stop worrying about what other people think, about whether you're moving fast enough or whether you're doing it perfectly. You understand that the journey is yours and yours alone, and the only thing that matters is that you keep moving forward. The naysayers, the critics, the doubters, they all fade into the background because you've got something bigger driving you, something that keeps you up at night, something that gets you out of bed in the morning with fire in your belly. This is why clarity of vision is so powerful. It gives you resilience, it gives you drive, it gives you purpose. It turns obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into setbacks for your next big leap. When you know exactly where you're going, you don't get derailed by the little things. You don't get thrown off course by temporary failures. You understand that those are just part of the journey, that they're there to make you stronger, to test your resolve. So when life tries to distract you, when challenges rise up and try to block your path, remember why you started. Remember what you're working toward, the vision that set your soul on fire. Let that vision pull you through the toughest days, the hardest moments, and the darkest nights. Keep your eyes on that prize and let everything else fade away. Because at the end of the day, it's not the obstacles that stop you, it's losing sight of the vision. But if you keep your focus sharp, if you hold on to that dream with everything you've got, there's nothing that can stop you. Not the challenges, not the setbacks, not the naysayers. Your vision is your compass, your fuel, your source of unstoppable power. Keep it in front of you always and you will find a way through. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, you will reach that destination. Because you never let the obstacles become bigger than the dream itself. Now let's bring it all together. You've got a vision, you've made a commitment, you've embraced the pain, shattered the fear, and tapped into a level of determination that most people can only dream about. You've chosen to focus not on the obstacles, but on the endless possibilities that lie ahead. And let me tell you something, when you show up with that kind of fire, that kind of resolve, there's no force on this planet that can stop you. Understand this, the journey will never be easy. There will be days when you're tempted to turn back, when the weight of doubt, fear, and failure tries to pull you down. But in those moments, remember why you started. Remember that every setback is just a setup for something greater. Every obstacle is just another opportunity to sharpen your edge, to prove to yourself and to the world that you're here to win. Because winning isn't just about crossing a finish line, it's about who you become along the way. It's about transforming into the kind of person who doesn't back down, who doesn't quit, who refuses to settle for anything less than the best. It's about realizing that no matter how tough it gets, you have everything you need inside you to make it through. You've got one life, one shot, and the clock is ticking. So don't hold back. Don't let fear, pain, or distractions rob you of the greatness that's within you. When you focus on your vision, when you commit to relentless action, and when you unleash that unshakable determination, you become unstoppable. You don't just dream of winning, you make it your reality. Now, go out there and do what you set out to do. Go out there and show the world who you are. You are going to win, not because it's easy, not because it's guaranteed, but because you've decided deep in your soul that you will not stop until you do. That's your power. That's your destiny. So get up. Get focused, get relentless. The world is waiting for you.